everyone. Happy New Year and happy Chinese New Year as well if you're celebrating. It's your friendly neighborhood comedian Michelle back again with another video for 2020. It's my first video of the year. Whoops, bit of an earthquake there. I'm very happy to be here. I wanted to give you guys a recap of my YouTube statistics, which I'm sure you're all very excited about. Just because I set a goal last year and I wanted to do one video a week and I wanted to reach like 800 to 1,000 subscribers, which did not happen. But you know what? It's important to, plan and then measure your goals. So I got 500 and I'm at 583 subscribers, which is not where I wanted to be, but it's still a 47% increase from where I was before. And like all good startups, you just have to start with a really small base and then the increase seems really big. So great job for me. And I did 25 videos, which is not 52, but it's nearly half. So I think that's all right. So this year I want to do my own show. That's my New Year's resolution. And I obviously want to keep making videos for you guys. So please keep the questions and comments coming. To start off, I'd like to give a shout out to my new subscribers. So thank you so much to Jimmy, Shadowbody, Rohan, Grace, Fleet Clan, Andy, Mix, Miller's Mind, Kelly, Sarah, and Suleiman. Thank you for subscribing. I'm very excited to have you with me on this channel. So today's video is about how to promote yourself in your comedy. So if you tell a joke and no one hears it, is it still funny? This is the question that is posed to me by Chewy, one of my subscribers. Thank you for asking this question. I think that's something that everyone kind of struggles with, especially because I guess we've grown up in a society where it's not really, you don't really think about promoting yourself a lot. I know that I especially don't really like it, especially when my friends have to pay to see my shows. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I don't want to like ask them to see me if I'm only doing like a 5-minute bit. Maybe it's not really worth it for them. But one of my New Year's resolutions is to be less considerate this year. That's right, less considerate. So maybe you should just go out and promote the show. I think a lot of the times as well, I think, oh, they're only seeing me for 5 minutes. And they have to pay like $15 or like $10. Maybe it's not worth it for them. But then you have to remember that there's also a lot of great comedians on the lineup that your friends are going to go see. So it's not just you. So if you're having problems with that, I know that I did in the past, maybe keep that in mind, that it's still a really great show. They get to see you and they get to see all these other amazing comedians as well. So I think that this promoting yourself has two branches to it. So the first branch is if you're promoting yourself for a festival show or your own solo show, which I'm going to talk about in a separate video. And then the second branch is just general promotion about your comedy art in general. So I think that the most obvious it's kind of funny, it's like the most obvious and also the hardest thing to do is you just have to get out there and you have to do the rounds. Like you just have to get out there and be doing comedy regularly. And I know that it's hard to do, but that's basically the best way to promote yourself. Now, that has two benefits. Firstly, that, audience members might start to see you and recognize you as you make your rounds in your local area. And the second benefit is that comics will start to recognize you, or they might just see you and they like your stuff, so they'll reach out to you and ask you to collaborate with them. So I really like doing comedy rounds because, I like to see a lot of other comedians and I try to talk to them after, even though sometimes it can be, nerve-wracking to go up and meet new people. But it's really nice if you can just say like, hey, I really liked your set, and, start talking to them and maybe get their Facebook, name so that you can add them as a friend and start asking them if they have any other shows. Because a lot of the times comics, also run a show. So it's a good idea and it's a good way to kind of get onto other bills that you might not necessarily get onto otherwise. Also, there's usually like a comedian Facebook group for like each area. I know Sydney had one, Melbourne has one, San Francisco has one. So maybe you look at and see if you can get onto that Facebook group, and then it'll be easier for you to find gigs around your area, and that'll help you to maintain like that regular cadence. So another important thing is when you finish your set, you should always try to finish with your name so that people can remember you and look you up if they like your stuff. So at the end of your set, you should, say your last joke and then thunderous applause and then say like, thank you so much. I'm Michele Lim. Have a great night. Actually, don't say your name. Just say my name so that everyone can look me up and then I can finally get famous. That would be amazing, guys. Remember, Michele Lim. Everyone say, thank you so much. I'm Michele Lim. Look me up on YouTube. And someone get me a TV show. All right. So, and then after the show, it's nice if you can just like hang around a little bit. I know that also I'm not very good at this because I'm very like, I get very nervous when I'm, around comedy people, and I just feel like people will come up to me and say they didn't like my show. I don't know why. I'm usually like very outgoing and I love making friends, but just for some reason in the comedy setting, I feel like I get very shy and I don't want to look at anyone and I don't want people to, I don't know, I kind of just want to please everyone in the audience. So I get shy and I think that maybe they don't like me. But I have had some people come up to me and be like, you're really funny. Like, do you have an Instagram or do you have a Facebook that I can follow? So that's really good. So if you kind of hang around and look approachable, then maybe people will come up and start talking to you and ask you for your social media details. I do think it's important if you don't have, like, you don't need to have a website or anything, but I do think it's important to have some sort of social media presence because I think that, obviously you're not going to be like, give me your number and I'll let you know when my next gig is because that's kind of weird. So if you just have like an Instagram or something, then you can say, thanks, like this is my Instagram. It's a lot more, it's a lot less intrusive than trying to get everyone's numbers and message them when you have a gig. Um, so, so as I said before, it's really important that you network with other comedians because that's where a lot of opportunities are going to come from for collaboration and cross promotion and getting onto their comedy shows if they're organizing anything. Um, and then following up with the social media thing, it's helpful if you have a lot of gigs in one month. Maybe you can put the dates up on your like a social media post so your friends will know when to come. Which I guess I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just my friends, but every time I've told my friends when I've had a gig, they literally never come. And then after, like the day after I have a gig, everyone will be like, "Oh, when's your next gig? I'd love to come." And I'm like, just don't lie, guys. I know you're not gonna come, so I don't know. Don't rely on your friends. But if you want to, then and if you've got like a like a sizable chunk, like maybe a 5 or 10 minute set, it might be good to like get a bunch of friends together, and then like they can come and see you that way as well. Um, so another thing that you could do is like you could tape your stuff and put it on YouTube. I know that in the past I was really against it because I thought that everyone would be stealing my jokes, and I didn't realize that actually no one would be looking at my videos anyway, so it doesn't even matter. But yeah, you can put your stuff on YouTube and hope that you go viral. That's the dream, guys. Remember me when you guys get famous. And then the last bit is you just have to keep going. As I said before, the most effective way to promote yourself is just get out there and make sure that you're being regular and people can see you. That leads to more opportunities and then you'll be even more regular and it's just like a virtuous cycle. So you really got to get out there. Another thing I would say is don't get discouraged by a small audience. I know that a lot of the times when you're doing comedy, it might not seem worth it for you to go up and there's like 3 people in the audience. I know I've definitely been like, ugh, I don't even want to do this gig anymore. There's like so few people in the audience, but there might be one person that really, really likes you. And then they'll go tell all their friends. And, they're out here for a reason. They enjoy comedy. And you should, do your best to give those 3 people in the audience like the best show that they've ever seen. So make sure you just appreciate and respect the time that they've put into coming to see you, and then do the same and hopefully give them a really great experience, and they'll like you, and then they'll be like your biggest fans, and they'll go promote you to everybody else. So that's what I have on self promotion in the general sense. I will make a video on how to promote your festival show soon. I do want to do a series on like writing, creating, and like promoting a festival show. I hope that you guys found this useful. Please let me know if you have any other questions, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Thanks. Bye.